I changed my mind. I want her to do my eulogy. Behind any successful organization are dedicated, hard-working, talented, knowledgeable people. And Dr. Masters' organization is no exception. I remember years ago I had a business and I had one woman working for me, and I had a sign on the wall inside the office that said, "Do you want to talk to the man in charge or the woman who knows what's going on?" Pretty accurate. Please welcome to the stage, Michelle Baer.
Can you hear me? Yes. Thank you so much for coming tonight, traveling from far. We've got students come from Australia, South Africa, Mozambique, can't forget Real Sandy, France, West Indies, and throughout the whole of the United States. We come to honor a wonderful man. What can I say that hasn't been said? Well, what I can tell you is that 10 years ago, Dr. Masters took a chance on a little African girl, and he gave me hope and he believed in me. And that's what he does to everybody around the world. He believes in you and he gives you the opportunity. What you go out and do with it is really up to you, but he leads by example. And I can tell you, after working for Dr. Masters, he's a man of truth, integrity. He works 7 days a week. He's a visionary, and he's always thinking of the future. He's taken on states, and he's fought attorney generals. A lot of this you don't know. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes work that we do, Dr. Masters pioneers, to make sure that you all can go out there and do your work and practice metaphysics with freedom and with choice. Let's give thanks to Dr. Masters. And he expects the best of all of us. That's all he asks, and he leads by example. And that's what we all have to do. It starts with us. If we can make a difference in our world, it'll impact the outside world, and together we'll make a difference. That's what it's about. We've got 3,100 active ministers all around the world, some in countries where they get persecuted and they have the courage and the conviction to keep on going. And that's what's important that we do. We take the teachings of Dr. Masters and we bring it forward for the next 50 years so that the next generation can grow and get stronger and stronger. It's up to us to make sure that it continues on. So that's all that we ask of you at the university. We're here to support you. We're there for you. Dr. Masters was always got your best interests at heart. He works tirelessly, he thinks ahead, and we'll continue to grow, but it starts with us. We have got to go out and do the work. Now, in support of the university, I'd like to introduce the staff, because without the staff, nothing would really happen. And I'm going to start with Sandy. Can you stand up? Dr. Sandy. Reverend Carol Marston, stand up. Dr. Linda Page, please stand up. Nana Mays, please stand up. Connie Benson, thank you. I'd like Dean Sinosa Squire to stand up. He works so hard to make sure that your introduce the master. Aaron Thunderheart, our webmaster, where are you?
Sit back.
Please stand up.
Sit back.
Our wonderful webmaster. Andrew Weston, would you like to stand up, please? Let's do an editing and proofing. Where are you? Thank you. And Rosetta Motley, would you like to stand up? Who does all our database? Make sure that we are online all the time and we operate fine. Where are you? And then our wonderful printer, David, who makes sure you get all the study materials. Would you like to stand up, please, too? Support of a man that we hold in awe, and Dr. Masters, from my heart, I want to say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, for believing in me, for your kindness, your compassion, your goodness, and your heart. You're an example to all of us, an example to me, and we'll do whatever we can to make sure your teachings carry on for the next 50 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Before I introduce our final performer, just a couple real quick housekeeping items. We're doing a lot of thank yous. I would like to have you join me in thanking Bobby Russell, who's been doing our sound, our lights, and was here early today. Tomorrow we have the rehearsal for the graduation. There's been people asking about it. We thought you had the information, but it starts at 10 o'clock sharp. If you're going to graduate, you need to be at the rehearsal. After the rehearsal, you will be given your gown and your cap for the graduation. So please come, be here on time. We have 110 people graduating, and so it's going to be, it's a little bit of a challenge, but we're going to get it done. Also tomorrow, you will get information on how you can buy CDs of the people that you have heard singing tonight, and also how you can get DVDs of this evening, and also photos of the entire thing that's going on. So a lot of stuff going to be happening tomorrow. Okay, right now, we would like to have you join me in welcoming Dwayne Briggs.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be back. I haven't been with this group in many, many years, but I used to do almost every year Dr. Paul's conferences, and they were always sort of the highlight of my year. And I was doing a lot of different metaphysical conferences, but his conference was always focusing on the inner indwelling spirit. And when I first met Dr. Masters, I was just getting out of a 10-year career in aerospace, if you can imagine me working in aerospace. But I ended up there when I moved to Los Angeles, and so this contract was about to expire, and so I thought I was going to get another job, but we hit this recession in 1990 in Southern California. There was a 75% reduction in force in the aerospace industry, and a friend of mine said, well, you need to join me for lunch, and you need to hear this guy over in Sherman Oaks. He's really, really good. And I was kind of churched out by then. I really didn't want to go and hear another person speak. But she talked me into it. And when I got there, I noticed that everybody in this congregation was some sort of practitioner, or they were a yoga teacher, or they were some sort of healer, but they were all involved in some sort of spiritual work. And it was the quality of the people that I met there that really impressed me, and most of all, the quality of Dr. Masters' teaching and what he presented, which was going within and finding that inner Christ within. And so a friend of mine told Paul that I sang, and he asked for a tape, and I had recorded a couple of songs. And they were the only songs that I had that were of a spiritual nature. I'd done some adult contemporary songs, but these were the songs I had that were spiritual. And one of the songs I'd like to do, because this was his favorite song and still is his favorite song, And this was written in 1954 actually, and it was written by Irvin Drake and James Sherrill. This one is called One God.
Of stars placed in the sky by one God. Millions of us lift up our eyes to one God. So many children calling to Him by many a different the same. Many the ways all of us pray to one God. Many the paths winding their way to one God. Walk with me, sister, there were no strangers after His work was done. For your God and my God are one. So many children calling to Him by many a different name. One Father, loving each the same. Many the ways all of us pray to one God. Many the paths winding the way to one God. Walk with me, brother, there were no strangers after His work was done. For your God and my God are
Well, when I met Dr. Masters, he called me a few days later and he said, "I'd like to talk to you." And so I actually met with him and we sat down and he said, "You have a gift and you have to use that gift because your voice can take people into higher states of consciousness." He said, "I've been in the field by then you were in the field for about 30 years. And he said, I'm the pioneer. I started guided meditations and I recognized this. And so because he told me that, instead of going and training again for another job and maybe aerospace or some other industry, I went on ahead and I pursued my career in music. So thank you for that, Dr. Masters. And he's requested this song, which is, it's the Prayer of St. Francis. It was put to music by John Michael Talbot. And I started doing it in about 1982. And it just kind of evolved. I bought a synthesizer and I created an intro to it. And it's sort of the foundation of all the spiritual music that I do. And so this is the prayer of St. Francis.
Make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, where there is doubting, let me breathe your faith. And Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is despairing, let me breathe your hope. Where there is darkness, your light. And where there is sadness, let me breathe your joy. Oh, divine Master, grant that I might see not so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, not so much to be loved as to love another. For it is in giving that we now receive, and it is in pardoning that we are now pardoned, and it is in dying that we are now born again. And Lord, make me an instrument